I'm Terry David Mulligan. This is Tasting Room Radio, and I'm pleased to welcome 3 of the participating wineries of the 2023 Cowichan Valley Wine Festival, which is going to be the month of August. But there's a kickoff, and we'll tell you about the kickoff and the passports and everything. I'm hoping that one of you on screen can tell me how the passports work. We have a new face on the screen from Alderlea, Julie Powell, who's the co-owner and part of the winemaking team at Alderlea. Hello, Julie. Hello.
Hi, Terry. How are you?
We get to meet again.
Yeah, we do indeed.
From Blue Grouse, Bailey Williamson, who's the head winemaker. And from Enrico Winery, Lauren Inglis, the general manager, and the prince of the Cowichan Winery Society. Pardon me, that's president of the Cowichan Wineries Society. Lauren Inglis. Okay, you guys, are we back, in fact, to what the Cowichan Valley Wine Festival was a couple of years ago, all of August?
Yes, we are, 100%.
I mean, you're looking for new ways to express yourself and do all of that. And the feedback was, hey, we don't really need help in August. We're busy in August, but you have to pick a spot on the calendar and just say, this is our spot. And so it's August for you, right, Lauren?
It is August, 100%. I mean, it is the best month to do it, but you're right. There was a little bit of pushback from some of the wineries about them already being too busy in that month. You know, like other wineries, they needed the kick in August, and the wine festival supports that, obviously.
Okay. And while I'm at it, Julie, and to everybody on screen, I just want to talk about the awards that have been being handed out lately. Julie, I last saw a post just a couple of days ago where 5 or 6 bottles wide there with medals around the necks. What were those awards?
So this was the 43rd All-Canadian Wine Championships, and I would have to say that the Cowichan Valley as a whole was really well represented. Yep. Obviously, we had some success here at Alderlea, but and certainly my colleagues on the show today can also speak to the accolades that they received for their wines. I think it just really speaks to the quality of the wine here in the Cowichan Valley that we should be so recognized in one of the most respected national competitions in the country. So it's quite exciting.
Were there a couple of double golds?
There were, in our case, we had a single double gold for our 2020 clarinet, and we were fortunate to be recognized with a gold medal for a couple of our white wines as well, our Sauvignon Blanc and our Valerie, which is an Ortega Viognier blend. And then we also had some silverware come in for our Pinot Gris and our 2019 Matrix Bold Red blend. So quite exciting.
Did you enter any of that gorgeous bubble of yours we had the other night?
Sadly, we didn't.
Come on.
We had a bit of a delay in getting it into bottle.
Oh, my goodness.
Notably, getting the fizz in, so to speak. Okay. So unfortunately, it did not make it, but it is a lovely wine, really fun for the summer. It's the first time we've actually made a sparkling wine here in our history at Alderlea. So that was kind of a new adventure for us, an opportunity to learn, and we're extremely happy with the product.
Way to go, Julie. And what's his name? So now, Bailey at Blue Grouse, awards. What do you want to talk about?
What do I want to talk about awards, Terry? Is, I think as Julie said, it's great. The Cowichan Valley, for the amount of production that we make, I think we were punching way above our weight in the awards ceremonies. I don't try and get too hung up on it personally. Everyone's always trying to do better. If I look at my wines, I can poke at all the flaws and things that I would do better. But I mean, that's part of the craft, which is striving to constantly, do it better, do it a bit differently, or experiment with something else. So, I think it's great that we get recognized, but as was pointed out to me in my earlier career as a chef, you're only as good as the last plate you put out. So, there's always room for us all to try and strive for greater recognition.
I just knew you were going to be difficult. I just knew it. Lauren, how about some awards that might have come your way?
Yeah, we won a couple of medals, but the one thing I wanted to say is exactly what Julie and Bailey did just say, was that, what's happening in the Cowichan Valley right now is absolutely incredible. And we do have some of the best winemakers there are really in the country right now working here, and it's incredible. But the part that Bailey did say, which caught me off guard a bit, was that he wasn't really into the medals. I've seen him run around naked with medals on his neck. So I can only tell you that's not entirely true about him not liking medals. My only complaint about that is they should make bigger medals. But other than that, no, we were really happy with what we got, obviously. And it's a prestigious award to win. And so we're all very, very happy about it. But great job in the entire Cowichan Valley.
I'm only running around naked because it's biodynamically approved.
And sustainable.
Yeah. I don't know if it's sustainable, but.
All right. Let's talk about, first of all, the kickoff. Lauren, talk about the kickoff at Brentwood College.
July 27th. We're going to do a little bit more of an upscale one this year. Tickets are $150. It's being catered by Mensch with an amazing menu that they're going to be doing up for us. We've got live music. Roland Barrett's coming back to play. Limited tickets on it. It's going to be from 6 to 9, and it's called the Sunset Soirée. Right down on the grass, same place as last year. Beautiful spot.
It's almost impossible to describe how gorgeous this is, but Brentwood College was built literally from that beach out.
Yes.
And as impressive as it is as a campus, the beach is where the hang is, and it is phenomenal.
Yeah, you've got a great view looking over to Mount Baker, of course, then Mill Bay Marina right to the right. So, I mean, you're just surrounded by beauty all the way. And, of course, with all the wineries, we're going to have 13 of the wineries participating. It's going to be a great show, and it's one that shouldn't be missed.
The date again, sir?
It is July 27th from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and tickets are $150. Tickets are available at the Cowichan Winery Society. Just type that into your bar and it'll come right up on screen, and just follow the links.
And you did say, just to follow up on that $150 is first of all, it's the hang, and secondly, it's the wines. And some of the wines being poured are going to be special, poured only there, probably
Correct.
Library wines. Yeah. And Mensch is literally, they are booked for this entire summer. I know this for a fact because we tried to book them for a wedding.
Yeah. We are super lucky to get them.
Well done. Yes.
Yeah.
Well done. Okay, cool. Now, Julie, do you know what you're going to be pouring at Alderlea during August, for example?
That's a great question. We'll probably be changing it up a little bit because sometimes people come back multiple times, even within the same month. So we try to vary it every week to 2 weeks. Chances are you will get to taste some of our Valerie blend, the one I mentioned earlier, the Ortega Viognier blend. Just a real lovely summer wine, summer in a glass, I'm kind of calling it this year. We usually have, as you say, a flight of about 4 wines, typically 2 whites, 2 reds, but I suspect here and there we'll want to throw that Frizzante in there. And we may even pull out here and there, probably on the weekends, something from the library, maybe something a little different from the Sunset Soirée, but we like to kind of keep it fresh and new, and just have a nice variety that really showcases obviously what we can do here in the vineyard, and what grows really well in the Cowichan Valley.
Wait a minute. Did you actually talk for those couple of minutes and never mention a wine? I've got to get a wine from you. What do you want to pour? What's going to lead the pour?
I would suggest in most cases Valerie is probably going to lead the way.
Yes. And who made Valerie?
I did.
Yep.
With always with some coaching from Zach. I come up with some ideas and we kind of brainstorm, and just in terms of the winemaking process, every year is a little different, as you know, with the grapes that you get and where things are sitting in terms of ripeness. So you just need to adjust every year.
I know you're early in your journey as a winemaker, but what does it feel like when you create something like Valerie, and someone just sits there and goes, "This is fantastic, and they tell you, what does it feel like?
Oh, I mean, of course, it's hugely gratifying. We started the show here today talking about medals and things like that. But the best feedback we get is just our customers and how they love the wines. And that really is the most rewarding thing about being a winemaker and being on this journey is people's enthusiasm. People, being evangelical about your wines. It's a little humble. It's very humbling, but it's also really exciting to see people get so much enjoyment out of them.
Speaking of evangelical, Bailey Williamson.
That's proselytizing.
Do you know what your pours will be during August?
I think it's going to be mixed up a bit. I imagine the Blue Grouse Rosé will be there, which is 100% Gamay Noir. I suspect you will get some Pinot Gris, perhaps, and hopefully some Pinot Noir. But we've changed it up a bit upstairs for this year for the festival, and we are accepting drop-ins for a tasting of 3 wines.
Bravo!
No reservation needed for that. But if you do want to come and hang out for a little longer, then you will need to make a reservation through our website and talk to make sure that you get a table. We don't want to turn people away, and we don't like it when we have to, because people are unaware that they need to have a reservation to take a seat and really enjoy the space that we have.
Well done. How about Enrico? What do you want to do over there, Lauren?
We'll be doing one of our sparkling wines, the celebration. We'll do the Ortega, of course, because it's one of our signatures. And probably the rosé. And depending on the day, if we get some clouds, we'll do some reds. The Pinot Noir, the 2021 Pinot Noir, which is just about to be released, which we'll be releasing on July night. That's another one that we'll use as well. But one point Bailey made about the reservations, that's super important to check with the different wineries.
By the way, the wineries attending the party: Avro Creek, Alderlea, Blue Grouse, Cherry Point, Damalli, Devino, Deoll, Enrico, Rocky Creek, Unsworth, Venturi, Schultze, Zanatta, and Emandare. Who's doing the music at the kickoff?
Roland Barrett.
Okay. Rock and rolly.
Rock and rolly, that's what we call them.
Fantastic. Yep. You're going to have music over there at Blue Grouse?
Oh, I do not know. We have music tonight. I know that much.
Okay. Julie, you going to have anybody strumming a guitar over there? Or is he going to, or is Zach going to be the DJ?
And probably no guitars, maybe just the symphony of Vino barking as she welcomes you to the vineyard.
Okay. Okay. So once again, just let me run this by you. Alderlea, Blue Grouse, Cherry Point, Damalli, Devino, Deoll, Enrico, Rocky Creek, Unsworth, Venturi, Schultze, Zanatta, and Emandare, all attending the kickoff. Then leads into all of August. And a very good point that was raised. Some of the wineries require reservations, so just check with the wineries. By the way, the website. Who wants to give the website, Lauren?
Cowichan Winery Society. You can just type that in your bar, and it'll come right up, and you can follow the links, ticket sales, all the different events that are going on. Everything will be right there for you.
Okay. Anybody want to talk about Zanatta?
Jim and Loretta are institutions here. I mean, their vineyard was planted before ours here at Blue Grouse, and they've been making top flight sparkling wine there for a couple of decades now. So yeah, don't miss out on that. And then when you go in, you'll also notice the terrazzo floor. That is that's state of the art stuff, because the other side of the family has matrix marble. And that's where you'll notice all the marble in the tasting room.
It is a classic. If Hollywood were to build a small winery, that was the Zanatta's the one you'd build. Who's coming now to the Cowichan? Are you noticing younger, older, female, male groups, individual? What kind of trends are we looking at, Lauren?
I think definitely we are seeing a lot more younger people now come into the picture. And by younger, I mean, let's put it at 25 to 35, that demographic right there, which is really interesting. And the one thing I found too is that the people that are coming in are a lot more knowledgeable now than they were 5 or 6 or 7, 8 years ago. There's just a lot of ability for them to go to learn about the wines, but it's a combination, male and female, obviously. But right now, I think that we've got a bit of a push for that younger 25 to 35 crowd, and a lot of Americans, a lot of tourists right now, of course, because we're open full tilt. But
how about you, Julie?
Yeah, I would agree with Lauren that we're definitely seeing, knowledgeable young people coming in. People have done their research and they're, really interested in the region and interested in venturing out even further than, say, traditional wine region in BC. So everyone thinks of the Okanagan, but I think increasingly people are thinking of the island. We, generally speaking, I think the best descriptor though for customers is just diverse, both in age, demographic, whether they're local or they're local to BC or Canada, or, we do get the visitors from overseas as well. So it's a really nice mix of customers, and with varying levels of knowledge as well. So it's nice to see the people who are new to wine, and then the people who, quite experienced, but maybe are discovering our region for the first time.
Bailey?
I know I'd have to agree with both my colleagues here. I think we see I don't spend a lot of time in the tasting room, but I think we see a diverse, broad spectrum of people coming in. I mean, we certainly have people that come in and hang out. We have a fairly well-subscribed wine club. We get those people that come in and they use it like their clubhouse almost, and come in with their friends and sit down with a bottle of wine. I think from my experience, my focus, not just on the Cowichan, but I'm trying to make sure that people that are not on the island understand that there's a wine region here, and that this is not your grandma's wine anymore. The game has been upped by all the players that are here. And so, don't sleep on the Cowichan. I very much see the same kind of dynamic that I experienced when I first got into the industry in 2000 up in the Okanagan. There was, it was soup to nuts in terms of quality and what people were doing. And it just takes time. But I feel that we need to make sure that the rest of the province, to start with, knows that we're here and that, we're making good wines, award-winning wines, as we said, and that besides that, it's a great place to come and visit. So, I really want to, I'll be proselytizing about that for a while now. That'll be what I'll be on. That's my soapbox.
Okay, thank you for all three of you. Who wants to take me through passports, how the passport's going to work? Maybe the president.
Go ahead, Julie. None of us have figured it out yet. No, I'm just kidding. So it's going to be a passport again. One of the things that happened in the past with the passports was people felt that they had to go to every winery, get a stamp in order to be eligible for any of the prizes that were up.
Yeah,
that's not the case now. You can because it was too much of a problem for a lot of people.
Sure.
So the passports, it's fairly open. All it's going to do is pretty much be a map of where to go. The same process, I'm just going to interject quickly before we get too far into the passport, is the glass will be your ticket as it has been in the past. So you purchase the glass, that is your entrance into each of the wineries. And we're doing the 3 for free, or that's what the principle is going to be. But the passport, it's basically just going to be a map. Fill it out, hand it in when you're finished on the end of the whole festival. And there's a lot of prizes that can be won because of it. And that's it. We're just trying to keep it simple the way it was a couple of years ago, Terry.
The Cowichan is open for business. Well, every day, but basically the month of August this is your invitation. And you can see Bailey up close and personal. It's scary when you see that because he's much taller now. Okay, so now for the soiree, are we going upscale summer dressed up thing? Anybody? Is it?
Yeah, it's entirely up to you. I mean, that's the whole idea, is to do a little bit more of a black tie, white tie affair, get dressed up. But it's not necessary. There's going to be people that are going to be in all attire, but the whole idea is to bring it a little bit more upscale. So obviously the dress would be better to follow the suit, right? So
Bailey and I have a tradition. We go for last cup at Brugo and then to come down the hill.
That's it. I won't be there this year, unfortunately, and I'm pretty bummed about it. I've got other engagements that I have to attend to.
What's more important?
My son's playing hockey in Boston.
Yeah, pictures with his medals.
That's right.
You'll be at a Red Sox game.
Well, we'd like to go and check out the stadium for sure.
Yeah, of course you would. All right. Julie, do you have a summer black dress you're going to wear? What are you doing? It's formal now.
Yeah, I guess as long as I can wear my boots with it. I am a farmer, so.
All right, let's see what we got here. Let me see if I got this right, you guys, Lauren especially. The Sunset Soirée, July the 27th, 6 to 9, Brentwood College School. The Campbell Commons is what they call it. 13 wineries. And wines paired with everything that Mensch Catering is bringing, and they are the best. Dozens of wines, some poured specifically for the event. It's 19 plus, government issued ID. Are you listening, Bailey? $150 a ticket. The wine passports, August 1st through 31st, 12 wineries. You get stamped, but whether you get stamped or not, you're going to basically, once you get your glass, you're in on the participation for prizes for $50. Anything else?
Where do we get the tickets?
Where do we get the tickets, Lauren?
You can get them again. Just go into Cowichan Winery Society, type it in. You can go into the 2023 Cowichan Valley Wine Festival. Just type that in on your computer. It'll come up automatically. So you're just going to buy it.
Also on Instagram and Facebook, my friend.
Okay.
I'm telling you. Also on Instagram and Facebook. I mean, no, the information is there.
I don't do either one of those, but sure, okay.
Threads.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll fax you your invitation, okay?
Send it to Jim at Zanatta, and then I'll get it from him.
I feel bad for Jim. I feel badly for Jim. I'm sorry, Jim. I'll come find you personally. I will knock on your door. Well, Julie, I'm looking forward to coming in and tasting some Pinot and getting more information on Alderlea and everything that you're doing. And I want to see if Blue Grouse has changed at all because of the new ownership. If he's perhaps the gentleman on the screen is politer, maybe.
Not likely.
Okay.
But I will buy you a coffee.
Thank you, sir. And Lauren, thank you for doing this and being the president and leading the team. Appreciate it.
No, our absolute pleasure, and thanks for your time, Terry.
Thank you, man.
As usual. Thanks a lot for your time.
The invitation has been dropped for all of you. Please get yourself to the Cowichan Valley. If you can't do August, how about July? How about September? But August is the time to be here. It's going to be fantastic. We have the accommodations. We have the food. We've got everybody's participating, and you are welcome to join us here in the Cowichan Valley. It's fantastic. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
My thanks to Lauren Inglis, the general manager at Enrico Winery and the president of the Cowichan Winery Society. Bailey Williamson, the wonderful guy from Blue Grouse, the head winemaker. Julie Powell, the co-owner and the co-winemaker at Alderlea, all in the Cowichan Valley. And their festival kicks off July 27 at Brentwood College, and then August 1 through August 31. It'll happen very quickly, as you well know. Now, moving on, down island slightly, in Victoria, there's the opening of a wonderful restaurant called Marilena. It's part of the Top Table Group. They are hugely successful from Blue Water Cafe and Chin Chin on out. And this is the first Top Table restaurant in Victoria. It's a big deal. And I happen to know the chef. I've known him for quite a while. Christian Eli is the executive chef. And he's assembled, as he would, an all-star group to help him lead this team through this first year and beyond. It's going to be an amazing dining experience. And I'm trying to capture it with this next interview. So Christian Eli, who has helped to create and shape the culinary scene across Canada with the Young Chefs competition with Hawksworth. And he's one of a kind. He's a chef's chef is what he is. Here's a conversation with Christian Eli, who has come back to Victoria. He left many years ago with his family to set up shop at Marilena Café and Raw Bar. He is the executive chef at Marilena Café and Bar in Victoria, just opened. The very first top table group restaurant on Vancouver Island. There's lots to talk about. The menu is phenomenal. The wine list is outstanding. You know the service is going to be good. And you know the culinary arts in the kitchen will be peerless. So we're going to talk to our executive chef, Christian Eli from Marilena. Christian Eli, chef, where are you? What part of the restaurant are you in, Marilena?
I'm sitting at table 36 right now. I love the little corner banquette. The corner of Pandora and Douglas Street at Marilena Café and Bar. It's exciting new addition to the Victoria dining scene.
The judgment is out on that, sir. You'll have to wait for the reviews to come. You know that. Now, as I understand, it's across from City Hall.
That's right. We look out at City Hall, Centennial Park. Great little spot in town. Iconic to look out at the clock tower and hear it ding every hour. It's pretty cool.
Now, let me, that's a whole nother parking problem. Let me get caught up on a couple of things that I need to do. First of all, the last time we really saw each other was the Hawksworth Young Chefs competition across the country in various rooms and kitchens. What effect did that have on the culinary arts of a new generation in Canada?
I'd like to think a great deal. I think any time that you can provide that sort of platform for young culinarians or any real art form or trade to be recognized and help establish that next generation is key. And I think that for those years that we did that and operated that, I think we were highly successful at achieving that. I think I've seen a lot of those winners and top placers or finishers do very well in their own career and kind of springboard themselves to that next level. So that's always encouraging.
I knew you were headed chef to Victoria, and I knew it was your hometown. But also COVID came along and extended the prep time for Marilena. What did you do with those 3 years? What did you do in terms of prep? Not just family and just survival, but what did you do and how did it help in the planning?
I was very fortunate, Terry, to have an ownership group that wanted to see this through, was committed to me, committed to the project. And so for me, it was a unique situation where I'd already moved the family over to Victoria or relocated back here. But I was able to fill my time and stay quite busy within the organization with our other restaurants, our other operations. We have opened, I guess, this is the fourth new restaurant in our group since I've been a part of it. So I really had a chance to play a hand and support and help and keep the rust off, if you will, in all those other establishments while I waited for this beautiful restaurant to open.
It is a tough business you have chosen to have your life in. It is an unbelievably tough business. I think opening nights on play on a stage are terrifying. I've seen it up close. When did you last live in Victoria? Two-part question. When did you leave? And what changes did you feel and see when you came back?
I left in 2002, said I'd never return. Two beautiful young girls and a young family in tow. It became part of the conversation again with my wife and I, and obviously it had to make sense professionally, and center stage, top table. But I mean, to answer the second part of your question, I mean, I've seen Victoria grow up a lot. I think the influx of tech and investment banking industries here have really springboarded a new generation of a younger demographic that I think is used to going out and enjoying culinary drinks, wine, beverage, bar, all of that. And not that there wasn't a population that didn't enjoy that, but I just think there was less of it. And so we've seen a dining scene here that has grown up immensely, especially since when I left and have now come back. And that's cool. That's unique. That's ultimately probably my biggest goal with this project is to really help put Victoria on the map. We're so lucky with the products we have here, and both from farm and being surrounded by ocean and the ranches and then Cowichan Valley, and I could keep going on and on. So I'd say Victoria's grown up immensely in the last 18, 20 years that I've been away.
Good to hear. Now, Top Table Group, those people you were partnered with, Blue Water Cafe and Eliza and Chin Chin and Araxi and Il Caminetto and Bar Oso. The Eliza brings up a question. Has anybody explained yet? I haven't seen an explanation for the name of the restaurant.
For Marilena.
Yep.
Yeah. So Marilena is Elisa's middle name. So Elisa Marilena Carlotto is the matriarch of the Aquilini family.
There you go.
She was an incredible woman who is remembered for her warmth and hospitality in her own right. And so very fitting now that we have 3 new restaurants in the group named after her 3 names, Elisa being the steakhouse in Yaletown, Marilena, obviously the one that's evoking this interview, and Carlotto, a new small plates Italian restaurant that opened in New York at our sister restaurant Oceans there. So that is where the name came from. What's even more beautiful, or not more beautiful, but very fitting, is that Marilena, loosely translated in Latin, is bright star of the sea. And so for us to have that seafood connotation, as well as obviously pay homage to her, is pretty unique and cool.
Please, Chef, please explain to the audience, because you've been downtown Vancouver and downtown whatever for many, many, many years, your relationship to the ocean.
My relationship to the ocean, I mean, I grew up on the island, so surrounded by it. I don't really, I mean, short of trolling out with my dad fishing as a young boy, I always loved being around and surrounded by the ocean. I've never left the West Coast as a permanent resident anyway. So for me, I'm near and dear to it. And I mean, further to that, coming back, having a little bit of extra time leading into this opening, definitely delve deeper into that with some free diving certification and lots of things that involve recreation in and around the water. So definitely near and dear to me. I couldn't imagine myself living anywhere but the West Coast, to be honest.
The first thing I thought of, the first 2 words that popped into my brain, Chef, were ocean wise, because I've been schooled about ocean wise, and I can't get enough information about protecting the ocean from Ned Bell out. And you have committed to the ocean, to everything that isn't around, on top of and below the waters, and it brings its own responsibility, sustainability, transparency, local if you can. And your menu, which we'll get to in just a second, is totally committed to it. You knew that going in. So did you have someone reading the waters, so to speak, 10 and 15 and 20 years down the road as to how difficult this might be?
100%. And you're absolutely right with responsibility. I think that's the key message here, is that we're feeding 200 people a night here right now. And obviously I am aware of the strains of what that means for our oceans. We're a small fraction of that, but sustainability is at our core. We really, really are pushing hard to establish those sustainable check marks, if you will, when sourcing product locally and importing, or we won't bring it in. It's that simple. So for us, no, it's at the core of what we believe in, what I believe in, and certainly wouldn't want to promote anything else on the menu.
I saw a phrase. I'm trying to find it because I wrote it down. Something about there are actually 2 rooms, 2 ambiances in your place. There's a raw bar and there's a cafe.
Yeah. So we have a beautiful, beautiful dining room. So very look forward to having you here when you can make it down. The room is expansive and wide open, if you will. I mean, it's divided by banquettes and seating formatting, but what's unique to the space is a beautiful, stunning open kitchen. I mean, there is nowhere to hide for me and the team. Yeah. We are wide open in the center of the dining room, and opposite us, you're right, is a raw bar, and that is always fun when we create a seafood concept like this, to be able to have and play off of that concept where you have that satellite raw bar with tons of offerings that really round out the menu and create a very cool, to your point, different pocket or ambiance in the space for guests to enjoy. So no, it's a pretty cool spot.
The shot of you in the kitchen takes me back to somebody's kitchen somewhere in one competition, and I could hear you grumbling under your breath. And I said, "What's what?" He said, "I'd kill for a flat space, anything to put something down on, because there's nothing." And your kitchen has a lot of flat space in it. That doesn't surprise. You have. I'm looking at your top table lineup, of course, of the group of the restaurants. Have you taken a little bit from each one of them, influence of any kind, because you went through those rooms and you certainly had support to come in and take a look and see what you might want to do in Victoria?
That's a great question. Yes, we did, is the short answer. The twofold longer answer is, what appealed to me most about Top Table is that it is a well-backed restaurant group, but they put a lot of emphasis on chef and restaurant director alike to drive their team and create their own vision within the space and within the brand alignment, if you will. And so for me as a chef, there's that creative outlet to be able to essentially do what I'd like to do. Having said that, we build institution restaurants. That's what we like to call them. And they're restaurants that, we just celebrated 40 years at Araxi, 25 years at Blue Water. These are feats. These are things you don't see very often in the restaurant industry. It's a ruthless business. And so for us, establishing that, part of our keys to success, Terry, are building menus and engineering menus and service that are timeless and that won't come and go with trends so much as provide guests what they want to eat when they want to eat it, and really check a lot of those key fundamental boxes. And so, for me, it's a situation where I've taken some best ofs from various restaurants that we know are tried and tested and do well, and I put my own spin on them. Obviously, that is a very small piece of the menu, but there are certainly nods to various menus throughout our group. And that is mimicked as well by way of design in the space. I think you'd notice that we have a lot of people have commented when they've come into Marilena, having been in other restaurants of ours, that there are nuances of design that they see in both Oceans in New York and Elisa in Yaletown and Blue Water, and that's done on purpose. We're evoking that memory, that brand association that makes sense and make especially for our longtime regulars and guests that have come in. They get tickled pink over it because they really see those things that they love and have grown to love over the years, and that's pretty cool.
I'm going to talk about your menu now, if that's okay.
Fire away.
He is Chef Christian Eli, Marilena Café and Raw Bar, downtown Victoria. I'm smack downtown Victoria. Now, I've got my printer blew up one of the two pages. They're all too large. So I've got the rest on the screen over here if you see me looking. And I'm looking at the raw and chilled. I'm looking at the salads and the small plates and large plates. And then down the bottom it says sushi rolls. Chef, I don't see one named Dynamite anywhere. How is it possible that a Dynamite roll, which you will find in any sushi bar on the planet, did not make it to your menu?
Still available, still on there. It's for us, again, it's about creating something unique here. And I think and new, exactly. And I feel like the menu is vast. It's a big opening menu. There is a lot to come back time and time again. And I'm almost terrifyingly so. When we first opened the doors, I wondered what I'd done to myself. But it's it's going incredibly well. And as I say, there's something on there for everybody. And that was really the ambition with it, is to make sure that they checked all the boxes in that sense. And the sushi program coming off the Raw Bar, I'm by no means a sushi chef, but have outsourced that to an incredibly talented individual who also made the move over from Vancouver for this. and you know, it's his program is definitely mirroring my philosophy, our philosophy at the restaurant, and that's creating something new and fun and engaging and but still recognizable. There's one big piece I think that you'll notice looking down that menu top to bottom is approachability and flavor combinations.
Yeah.
There's nothing there that is you're going to scratch your head and say, I don't know if that's going to work, or these are all tried and tested. I've had 3 years to hone this in and do menu tastings for collective groups, and I feel like we've got a menu there that speaks to everyone.
The stuff that jumps out at me, of course, under raw and chilled, albacore tuna gomai, yellowfin tuna tartare. Start me when you want to start. Crispy Marilena tacos. Yeah, we'll go there. Beef strip loin carpaccio, Hawaiian crudo. Now, everybody's going to order at least one crispy Marilena tacos. What are you doing different with that?
You know what, that dish is one that I've really stitched up my cold side team on, because you're absolutely right. We see them landing on almost every table. They're a very popular, almost Nobu-esque style taco. Sure. So it's a crispy wonton shell, sashimi grade fish landing inside of it, be it the steelhead or lobster. So you kind of pick your poison there, and yeah, just super addictive, fun, shareable item. Great way to start the evening off. You can order them by the piece or order them three to an order, and we see them being very successful and just a really fun shareable over a cocktail or a glass of wine.
The salads, all of a sudden we're in Italy. We're not in Japan. We're not in Victoria. Italian burrata, and the Tuscan kale.
Yeah, so interestingly enough, that tomato salad is probably one of our best sellers as a whole. And what's fun about that is what I spoke to earlier. I mean, we're surrounded by incredible farms and growing season. Yeah. So these are tomatoes that are landing on these tables in early July, that you wouldn't think would quite be there, and are sugar sweet, incredible, growing 15 minutes from the restaurant. Obviously reaching local for that, but not chincing on the cheese. We are not going local with the cheese. We're importing that, flowing in fresh every 2 weeks from Italy, and then splashing it with my favorite local vinegar, the Venturi Schultze balsamic vinegar from Cowichan. So we're paying homage. We're paying homage locally by way of the produce and the accompaniment. But again, there's so much diluted North American burrata that we just couldn't bring ourselves to put on the plate, and have splurged with the beautiful Italian from Puglia. So
and from Puglia, oh, wonderful,
yeah,
wonderful. Mm-hmm. And you did say Venturi Schultze balsamic.
Mm-hmm.
Those little barrels, wonderful. Yeah. I got to keep going. I'm getting too hungry. Small plates. I see with wild mushroom soup. Are you foraging? Are you working with foragers?
Yeah, we are. We've got local foragers here, 2 guys that are going out and picking what's fun. The soup base is contrived of some cultivated mushroom mixed with wild, and then it's garnished with foraged wild mushrooms. Yeah. So right now we've got some chanterelles, first of season chanterelles, morels in there. Yeah.
Do you now know what's the chef's selection of the sort of sashimi is, or does it change?
It changes almost daily.
Yeah.
There's always a couple of fixtures on there, but depending on what's landing and what's fresh and best, that's going to find its way onto that plate.
Okay, now large plates just for a second, because all of a sudden you change. Then it gets deadly serious. I'm going to grab my menu. Just explain the large plates for sharing, yes?
Absolutely. So the whole menu is flexible in the sense that you can sit down and order it a la carte, or share amongst your family and friends or dining companions. And that goes from the top of the menu that we just discussed all the way to the bottom. As you work your way to the bottom of the menu to larger plates, the term large plates is a little bit more of a complete main course. So that'll be a star of the plate, a protein, maybe a vegetable, highlighted and supported by a couple of garnishes. As you make your way further down, we have for the table section, which is really more conducive to the sharing that I just spoke of, where it's a large format protein, a whole lobster, a whole Mediterranean branzino, larger format red meat options that are put in the center of the table, and then allow the guests to reach to the side section with local vegetables or starches alike to fill that experience.
Sablefish, halibut, steelhead, striped bass, vongole. Down the bottom, charred cauliflower as a large plate. How does that work, Chef?
Well, you got to appease those vegans, Terry, you know?
No, but I mean, How large is that plate? How large is that cauliflower?
Oh, I know. No. It's a main course size. You're really taking what would be 6 ounces of protein and replacing that with the cauliflower. But that's a vegan entree printed on the menu. And when times are changing, we want to highlight and showcase all of that. And through a large menu, especially through an opening, a lot of headaches by way of kitchen modification with a menu that size can really become difficult. So we're making sure that there is stuff printed on the menu to appease those guests.
Speaking of appeasement, sir, for the table, whole grilled. I love the double ranch, 48-hour beef short rib, reserve Angus. There's something for everyone on that plate.
There really is. That short rib, we're in a seafood restaurant, and that short rib is arguably one of the favorites right now from a shareable perspective. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of meat, double R ranch, and we're cooking it 48 hours and then charring it on the grill and slicing it up. It's butter.
How big is the wine list that Shane left you?
Huge. 48 pages to be exact, I think.
Shane Taylor outdoing himself.
He is, and he's created something unique and special and something that you don't see on the island or haven't seen on the island yet. Obviously, again, like the menu, we really wanted to highlight and showcase local. There's a great contingent of Vancouver Island and BC wine, but like all of our restaurants, the deep cellar is important and crucial and part of the equation. And we haven't spared anywhere with that here either. We've got 2 cellars, in fact, white and red. So,
and where does the sparkling go then?
It's lands into our white cellar. It's stored there, but
I thought maybe it had its own cellar.
No, it's not its own cellar, unfortunately.
I see a Lambrusco in there. Well done.
Yep.
I see a wine from Basque country.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything Basque-esque on the menu?
We do. There's some Spanish nods and some Basque touch flair there. Okay. We're really showcasing global flavor on the menu, like I have on a lot of my previous menus.
Yep.
There's certainly a nod to that.
For those wine fans out there who have joined us, just let me run down a couple of things, Chef. You can jump in anytime. The Riesling is Sperling Old Vines. The Semillon Chenin Blanc is from Zapata White Clay in Mendoza. There's a Viognier Marsanne from Darnberg, the Hermit Crab. There is a Chardonnay from Unsworth, which is a good deal because they have just planted a whole bunch of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir in that new vineyard.
Unsworth has been phenomenal, and they're longtime family friends of mine, and they've really come to the plate, and we're happy to support and sell their wine. Phenomenal product. The Chardonnay is moving off the shelves at great speed by the glass, and then the other fun one on there, we've got red by the glass. We've got Avril Creek, also really close friends of mine, and I love what Brent is doing up there. From a winemaking perspective, and his Pinot Noir is phenomenal. So, and
there's a Sangiovese.
Yes, there is.
Is there a Chianti? There must be.
There is a Chianti, absolutely, by the bottle.
All right. The Syrah from Nickel, the original plantings, of course, on the Narrabri Bench, or in the Okanagan, for that matter. The Village, and finally the last one on the bottom of the list, the Cabernet Sauvignon Merlot Aquilini Family Blend from Red Mountain.
Mm-hmm. South of the border. We've got a couple of fun large formats there from them as well. So that's a nod, obviously, to our ownership group, but a vineyard that is ever growing in Washington State.
I'm going to ask you to consider at least having a taste of a Bordeaux blend from the Okanagan called Q&A. We've talked about it. You bring it down. Q&A, and the white is Marsanne Roussanne Viognier, and it's beautiful. Anyway, hopefully it'll find its way there somewhere. There'll be a lot of pressure on that wine list. Will it change as we go with the seasons? The room,
or the food,
room
everything. Yeah, a little bit, Terry. And as I mentioned earlier, the important thing for us is creating a flagship restaurant in Victoria. And to do that, we believe that about 60 to 70% of that menu should be fixed, that people talk about, want to come back for time and time again. Those tacos we spoke of aren't coming off anytime soon. There's a number of dishes like that people are already gravitating towards that will never leave this menu. The supporting cast and the vegetables and the sides and the produce absolutely will be seasonal switch ups and changes that move with the seasons, as will our beverage program, I imagine. Shane and our lovely woman Savannah Robinson, who's our assistant wine director here, facilitating and managing the list, will probably make changes as the year progresses as well. So lots to come. The signature Marilena chocolate bar is phenomenal. It is something that you wouldn't expect. And what I love about our pastry chef Dominique Laurençal is her deft touch with not overly sweet desserts. They are delicate, they are delicious, they leave you satisfied, and it is not a sickly sweet experience.
By the way, I just should ask you this because I attended the natural wine pour at your hockey rink down there, and was really taken with all of the natural beer, cider, and wines that were being poured on the day. They also would, I'm sure, like to have room on that wine menu at some point.
I think so. We've already got a little bit of it on there, but yeah, I think that as we start to really what it's about for us is there's got to be that brand alignment coming into a new market.
Yeah.
And as we start to establish what people are consuming and drinking and eating and really gravitating towards, we can then put those little splashes and touches onto the menu.
Chef, you know what we forgot to do? I forgot to do your bar. You've got like on tap, you've got Negroni, and then the descriptors: lively, adventurous, sophisticated. Take me through lively.
Lively is meant to be more wet your whistle, high acidity, punchy, fun cocktails, summer crushables, patio drinks.
What if you have time? What if you have an hour or two? What about something from adventurous?
That's where I hang. I love the adventurous. You know what? Jace Caddyshack, our bar manager, is phenomenal talent as well. He came over after helming Clive's bar for about 10 years in town here. So has a great foundation of classic cocktails, but really fun twists. And he's done a great job with the program. Some really fun drinks there. The Wild Ambitions is a great seller for us. What's the mezcal cocktail on there? The Fool's Drifter.
Yeah,
He's yelling at me from across the room.
There you go.
The Drifter is one of my go-tos. It's a fun menu that I'm sure we'll see tweaks and changes over the year as well.
Summer's going to be busy for everybody, you especially, and then change of seasons. Then comes September. Then the wonderful rush into Christmas and New Year's. You'll have a chance to shine and show off, and that kitchen's just going to sing. And I'd like to think that all of your success is going to have an effect on food and dining in Victoria and the south of the island. I think people will be coming down from top of the rock come and visit and stay with you.
That's kind words, Terry. Thank you very much. That, you know what, our ambition is exactly that. And I think I mentioned earlier, I mean, I'm very lucky, or I call a lot of the industry folk in Victoria and on the island close friends, great friends. I love what they're doing. I love what they have done. And I'm just thrilled to be here and contributing to that scene. If we can help add a notch or help elevate in any way, that's our goal and ambition. We're a humble bunch here that are just happy to be here and happy to finally be open, and the reception that we've received thus far from locals and people coming down island or coming over from the mainland has been incredible. So just got to keep that momentum rolling.
Have you had a cruise ship walk in?
No. I've said this so often that, when everybody says, oh, when are the cruise ships coming back? It's a different crowd that I think is looking for a different experience. We might see one or two tables a night from those ships. For us, I will be honest, it is the most crucial thing for us is establishing ourselves in this community and making sure that Victoria is behind this restaurant. And that's our ambition. If we reap the reward of the tourist dollar coming in through the May through October, great. And we'll welcome them with open arms and provide that same experience. But for us, it's really about getting Victoria behind us and establishing that clientele.
And let's have a culinary championships of some kind in Victoria, and just celebrate, just make a fuss, you know.
Absolutely.
It's a good town, man. It's a good town. You walked away from a good town, but you're going to make it better.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate your kind words.
And stop free diving.
Stop free diving.
Well, I mean, we need you. Huh? It's that's a dangerous sport, man.
No. I'm in 10 meters of water. I'm not doing anything crazy.
I see. Okay, fine.
I'm just exploring the underbelly, intertidal zone.
All right, fine. Okay.
I've got kids. I'm not going crazy.
Thank you for this website.
MarilenaCafé.com.
Thank you. Thanks, Chef.
Thank you, Terry. Really appreciate your time. Look forward to having you down.